I hid from my best friend that I am in love with his girlfriend because I thought it was just a phase, but now things have gotten so complicated that I feel like I am living a lie, and I do not know whether to confess or let everything fall apart. It all started about 8 months ago when my best friend Mark began dating a girl named Laura. From the very beginning, he introduced her to me as the most incredible person he had ever met. He told me he was sure she was the one. I smiled. I congratulated him. I did everything a best friend should do, but deep down, from the first moment I saw her, something inside me changed. Laura is. I do not even know how to describe her without sounding cliché, but she is one of those people who light up every room they walk into. She is not just beautiful. She's charismatic, fun, smart, and she has this way of listening to you that makes you feel like you are the only person in the world. Since I met her, I started noticing that. I was looking forward to every time the three of us hung out. At first I thought it was just a passing crush. After all. She is my best friend's girlfriend. That is off limits. I thought it would fade away. That I just needed time to put my feelings in order. But it did not fade. On the contrary, every day that passed, I felt closer to her. Not because I was chasing it, but because she treated me with a kind of trust I did not expect. She told me personal things. She asked me for advice. She sent me messages when Mark was busy. I tried to keep a safe distance. But sometimes she would say things like, "I am glad you are Mark's friend, because that way I got to know you too." And my heart would race. Things got complicated 3 months ago. It was just an ordinary night. Mark was sick and could not go out. Laura and I had already made plans to go choose a gift for her sister's birthday. She asked me to go with her anyway, and I said yes. We went out, bought the gift. Then she said she was hungry, and we went to grab dinner. Conversation flowed like always. Shared secrets, and at some point, when we were on our way back to her house, the atmosphere turned strange. I do not know how to explain it, but there was something in the way she looked at me. When I dropped her off at her door. She stayed silent for a few seconds and then said, "Sometimes I feel like I can be myself with you more than with anyone else." I did not know what to say. I just smiled. And before I could say anything else, she hugged me. It was not a normal hug. It was long, intense. Almost like neither of us wanted to let go. Nothing else happened that night. But since then, every time I see her, I feel like there is something unsaid between us. Something there, beating. I have tried to distance myself, I have made up excuses to avoid going out, but she looks for me, She writes to me. She calls me. And I do not have the strength to ignore her. 2 weeks ago, Mark told me he is planning to propose to Laura, And when he said it, I felt like my world was collapsing, I should be happy for him. I should support him. But instead, I felt an unbearable pain in my chest, I do not know what to do. I confess how I feel, I betray my best friend and probably destroy their relationship. If I keep it to myself, I feel like I am destroying myself. And the worst part is, I am not even sure if she feels the same, or if I am just imagining everything. I am trapped in this lie, pretending everything is fine, smiling while I am screaming inside. I do not know how to go on with this. After that night when Mark told me about the proposal, I could barely sleep. My head was spinning with all kinds of scenarios. I imagined him kneeling in front of her. I imagined her saying yes. I imagined myself standing there at the wedding as the best man. Forced to smile while watching the woman I love promise forever to someone else. I told myself I had to be strong, that this was my punishment for falling for someone I should not. But then Laura texted me the next day. She said, "Hey, can we talk? I need to tell you something." My heart skipped a beat. We met at a small cafe downtown. She looked nervous. She played with her cup while avoiding eye contact. Finally, she said, "Mark has been distant lately. And sometimes I feel like you understand me more than he does." I froze. I wanted to tell her everything right there, but I held back. I just nodded and said, "He loves you, Laura. He is probably just stressed." She sighed and smiled weakly. Then she asked me something that completely disarmed me. "Do you ever feel like you are living a life that is not yours?" I swallowed hard, because that is exactly how I felt. Like I was living a lie. That night. After I got home, I stared at my phone for hours, debating whether to tell her the truth. I typed a message saying, "Laura, I love you," but I deleted it. I typed it again, deleted it again, and eventually just turned off my phone. Days went by like that. Me stuck in this endless loop of wanting to confess but being too afraid of the consequences. Then something happened last week that changed everything. Mark invited me to a weekend trip. With him and Laura to a cabin his family owns. I wanted to say no. I wanted to run away from all of this. But he insisted, saying, "Come on, bro, it's been a while since we chilled just the three of us." So I agreed. The first night at the cabin was fine. We cooked, played cards, laughed like old times. But when Mark went to bed early because he had a headache, Laura and I stayed outside by the fire, She opened a bottle of wine, We talked for hours under the stars. And at one point, she looked at me with those eyes that had been haunting me for months and said, "Why do I feel like there is something you are not telling me?" I froze again. My heart was pounding so hard, I thought she could hear it. I tried to play dumb, but she kept staring at me. Then she whispered, "You feel it too, don't you?" I do not know how it happened, but suddenly we were kissing. It was intense, desperate. Like we were releasing months of repressed feelings, The moment it ended, we both pulled away. Breathing heavily, she covered her face with her hands and said, "This is wrong, Mark, and started crying. I wanted to hold her, but I also felt sick with guilt, We promised not to talk about it, to pretend it never happened. But how do you erase something like that? You cannot. The next morning, everything felt awkward. We barely spoke, and Mark did not notice anything. He was just happy we were all together. Now I am back home, and I feel like I am carrying a bomb that could explode at any moment. Every time I see Mark, I feel like a monster, Every time I see Laura, I feel like my chest is on fire, I do not know what to do anymore. Confessing would destroy everything, Staying silent is slowly killing me. Mark texted me yesterday asking if I could help him plan the proposal. He wants me to be the one who hides the ring and takes pictures of the moment. He trusts me completely. Right. And that makes me want to scream. Meanwhile, Laura has been distant. She barely replies to my messages now. I think she is trying to create space between us. Maybe she regrets what happened. Maybe she hates herself for it. Or maybe she is just scared like me. Last night, she finally sent me a message. Said we need to talk before it's too late. We agreed to meet tonight. I do not know what to expect. Part of me hopes she will tell me she loves me too. That we should be together. But another part knows that is selfish and cruel. I love Mark like a brother. He has been there for me in my darkest moments, and yet here I am, betraying him in the worst way possible. What kind of person does that make me? When I met Laura tonight, she looked pale, like she had not slept either. She said, "I love Mark, But what happened between us made me realize I have feelings for you too. I felt both joy and despair at the same time. She Continued, but I cannot do this to him. He does not deserve this, we have to stop. And I just nodded because what else could I say? We said goodbye with tears in our eyes, and that was it. Or at least that is what we told ourselves. Now I am sitting here writing this because I do not know how to carry this secret anymore. Should I tell Mark the truth and let him hate me forever? Should I bury this and let them live happily while I fade into the background? I do not have the answers. All I know is that whatever happens next, nothing will ever be the same. Asterisk, if you are reading this. Maybe you think I am a terrible person, maybe I am. I do not expect forgiveness, I just needed to let this out somewhere, life is messy, love is messy, And sometimes there are no happy endings. Right now, I am stuck between doing what is right and following my heart. And either way, someone gets hurt. I wish I could say I know what I am going to do, But the truth is, I do not, and. Maybe that is the real confession. That sometimes we are just lost souls trying to find our way in the middle of the chaos.